Hello, my stamping friends. Thanks for joining me for week 8 of our 12 weeks of fall with Barb Ryder. That's me. Barb Ryder here in Ypsilanti, Michigan, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I hope that you will enjoy going back and taking a look at the other weeks if you haven't already, and the fun stuff that I've got planned here. So yes, we are going to use lots of Stampin' Blends. We're using the Sweets and Treats stamp set, which I had done a class on, which was amazing. And we are going to use some ink pads and a couple techniques for you, I hope. Our ink pads that we're using is Bumblebee, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, and Cinnamon Cider. All right, let's grab our other things that we're going to be using. I have pre-cut all of my cardstock and everything that we need here. We have thick basic white, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have Calypso Coral at 4 by 5 1/4. I have some of the Hostess designer paper, which is amazing, as a free item you can get with Hostess rewards when you have $150 in sales or more. And I would love to talk to you about doing an online party if that's something you're interested in. Make sure to go to my website and contact me per my website. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5, and then I've pre-punched with our rectangle postage punch. Couldn't think of the name of it. I have pre-punched 3 of the basic white pieces with the basic white that we're going to be using. Okay, so this video has lots of tips and techniques in it. So hopefully you'll hang with me the whole time because there's some great things to learn here, or maybe they're just reminders. So we're going to start out with this right here. So I'm going to move my pieces out of the way. And I need to bring in a scrap paper. We're going to use all of these blends shortly, but for now, I'm going to just move them out of the way. And we're going to go with our ink pads. Okay, that's what we're going to start out first, is with our ink pads. So, if you have not purchased sponge daubers, these are fun little tools. We have our blending brushes also, but this is just a way to use your sponge daubers if you already have them. I keep them kind of in the same color field, so I would use this orange one with other oranges, maybe more browns and the different yellows. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to be using that. So we're going to start out with Bumblebee, and I guess I'm just going to start out with the lightest color. I'm just going to tap this into my ink and get some ink on the sponge. And I'm just going to come in and I'm just going to color some of these leaves. I'm looking up at my screen and it doesn't look like it's showing the color real heavy, but that's okay. We're going to just go back and just get some darker colors in there. There, you can see it a little bit. That's what I'm doing, getting some darker color in there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually move that over to the side for the moment. Let's go on to the Calypso Coral and give us some fall colors with our leaves. Okay, but look at how easy and fast that is using these daubers. And it's okay if you overlap a little bit, right? Let's come up here in the corner. Where else do we need some? I've got another color here, the Cinnamon Cider. And let's go ahead and grab that one. Add some Cinnamon Cider into our leaves. I'm going to purposely leave a few of them. Let's see. Let's leave that one up there. Maybe down here a little bit. Let's get some Cinnamon Cider over here. How about up here? We need some. And then after I've got some of it done, I'm looking around to see what color I want to add to make this more fall looking. Let's come in here and get some of this. Okay. taking a look. I think, yeah, let's come on up here. I'm going to go ahead and come around here. And how about down here a little bit? All right, then after I look at it for a minute, looks like maybe I'll come back in with some more of the, I'm done with the cinnamon cider, for sure. And I think I'm done with the Calypso Coral. I'm going to come back in with the Bumblebee. I wasn't sure if I had enough of that. So I'm going to come back in here. Let's go ahead and come right in here with some of that Bumblebee. The cool part too is if you go over top of where you've already got some of the other colors, it looks great. Really adds something in there. Okay, I'm going to come up here. All right, now I've left a little bit of the green, and the reason for that is I'm going to pull in some of that Granny Apple Green. Okay. Going to pull in some Granny Apple Green. Not with the ink pad. Take that back. Not with the ink pad. So we might not use the ink pad. I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green blends because I wanted to show you the different ways. You can use sponge daubers. Let me bring this up closer so you can see the colors a little better. You can use the daubers. You can use your blending brush, and you can also color with your blends. So I'm going to take the light, no, this is the dark Granny Apple. And guess what? I'm just going to color in some of this leaf to give me some of that. Now the fun part here is you do not have to worry about going outside the lines. You can go right on this black and it just covers it right up. So that's the reason I wanted to leave a little bit of some of the green or some of the openings to put some of this green in here. Okay, we don't want a lot of green, just a little bit. Come in here and do that. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to bring this back up so you can see. Yeah, so we've got a tad bit of green going on in there with all the fall colors. Looks fabulous. All right, so this part is done. Next, let's go ahead and grab our Memento Black, and yes, we are going to be using that. This is done, so I'm going to set this aside over here out of the way, and let's grab our pieces. So I'm going to do two of them tall and one of them horizontal. So let me do this. Let me pull in my sponge and put those here so you can see better. And I'll pull in that scrap page when I need to. But we're going to do one tall, another tall, and one this way. Memento Black. Let's pull that, get that out here. And so I'm going to stamp the saying, and this saying will be a birthday card. I know lots of people have fall birthdays, right? So a tasty treat for someone sweet. And again, this is all in the Sweets and Treats stamp set. Okay, so there is that. And I like to clean my stamps as I go, so let's clean that one off, and done there. Next, I'm going to be using the apple, and of course it is a caramel apple. I love caramel apples. So I'm going to stamp this towards the top because I'm going to stamp something else right underneath that caramel apple. And there is like a cake stand that's in the stamp set, and we're going to be using that. So, and then I have a cupcake. What's a birthday without a cupcake, right? And so I'm going to come up towards the top here and stamp that cupcake, just like that. Let's clean that stamp off so I'm not getting into that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and bring my scrap back in here, and let's get these back on here. And we're going to be using this base. Like I said, this is a base that's in the stamp set, so that your treats are sitting on something. So I'm going to have to come right up in here and stamp this down, I can see where I'm going. Oops, I think I went too low. I sure did. All right, so there's that. I went just a little bit too low. All right, let's see. I'm going to try on the, I think I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it upside down because then I can see where my line's at better. Ha! Who would have thought, right? Let's do this. And I think I'm good. Let's see. Yay, that one worked. Check it out. That one's way better. Okay? So the idea is that it looks like a base. So good deal that we have two sides to the paper. So we are going to go ahead and we are going to stamp this first. I'm going to turn this back over this way because now I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about it being lining it up until I stamp my cupcake. Okay, there we go. Got it. All right, I'm done with that one. Now let's stamp that cupcake again. So yes, I do turn my paper over often, right? Because there's two sides to that paper. All right, so let's do this. Let's get this stamped where it's right on there. Beautiful. I did it. Okay, so there we go. Now, once I get these colored in, that's what all the blends are for. We're going to be using those to color everything in. So done with the memento. Let's go ahead, and I am going to leave this scrap paper here, and the reason is it does soak through your paper when you use your blends, and I want to make sure that I'm on paper when I do that. What's next? The next thing is we are going to pull all of these blends up here. So if you haven't followed me on my Facebook page, make sure to go check out Stamp with Barb Writer. Lots of ideas there. Also, lots of previous videos. I am live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so come and join us over there. We have a great time. I am going to start with the Granny Apple Green. And what I'm going to do is take my dark and where this little line is on the apple, I'm just going to color that in a little bit around there. Then I'm going to take the light and color that in because the Granny Smith apples are wonderful as a caramel apple, right? This one is actually, let's see. You know what? I was thinking I have my red because I was going to do this as a candy apple instead of a caramel apple. So let's get, I'm torn. I'm really torn. Okay, I'm going to still do a candy apple because, you know, the candy apples are nice, hard, crunchy, yummy sugar candy on that the yummy apple, kind of tart apple. All right, I think I'm going to switch over to the nub side, the smaller side, and color that in. Starting to get outside the lines there. There we go. Okay, so there is our red. It looks kind of light, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in and just do the whole thing in the darker because I think it needs to be that really bright, darker red. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so let me show you a trick when you use like one solid color and you're not really blending in, what do I want to say? You're not really blending in the two colors. We have a color lifter, okay? You can take that color lifter, and if you want to highlight an area, let's say I want this to be a little bit lighter, I'm just going to come in and lift off some of that color, and you'll see how that lightens it up in that area, hopefully. Can you see how it lightened it up right in this area here? It gives it the two tones. There it is. You can see it better there. Okay, there's my apple. Next, I have some crumb cake. This is the dark crumb cake, and I'm going to just color in my stick for my apple. And let's see, what do I want to do next? We're going to go with the cinnamon cider because we are going to have a chocolate cupcake. And I'm just going to color in the little skinny part here. That's my chocolate cupcake. Mine is milk chocolate. I'm a milk chocolate fan, not a dark chocolate fan. So there is that. And then let's go ahead and use, I'm going to use, this is the dark and light petal pink. So what I'm going to do is take the light petal pink. Actually, I'm going to start with the dark. I always like to start with the dark with my highlighting. Just going to take that and I'm going to make a swirl kind of down here on the bottom and leaving some white so that I can blend in the lighter color. And it's pretty light, but it looks like a really yummy frosting. Okay, bring that up here. See that? There you go. All right, we are going to use green for our, or no, not green, I'm sorry. We're going to use the Calypso Coral. Calypso Coral. I'm going to take the dark and just, wherever there's lines, that's where I'm going to put that, the darker Calypso. Doesn't have to be perfect, just going to make some highlighting in there. Once I blend this all together, you'll see how this just gives you the look of kind of the folds and the ripples that you have on a cupcake holder when you make cupcakes using the holders. And just color that in. Beautiful. That looks wonderful. The blending looks really good. See there how it kind of gives it that shading look? And then we have to do our bases. And so what color am I going to do the bases? I think I'm going to go with the crumb cake. Let me grab the, is this the dark? Yeah, I'm going to grab the light crumb cake. Put this up here. Let's grab this light crumb cake. See how this looks. Yeah, I don't want it to be super dark, so yeah, this is great. All right, let's color in this base. And let's do that. I think I'll leave it like that. And then same thing over here. Let's just come on in. So this is the light crumb cake. I use the dark crumb cake for my stem on my apple here. So you got to stay to the end. I've got a really cool technique. That's going to be the last thing we do because of the type of technique that it is. All right. So you know, I think I am gonna come on down here and color this other part that's hanging out the bottom, where I got up a little bit higher on that. There we go. Okay. Done, done, done. Let's move these blends out of the way. And let's put our card pieces together and see what it looks like. Before I do that, we've got to do something with our Granny Apple Green blends. I'm going to move these pieces over, and I have some of our Whisper White crinkle ribbon. So this is an awesome technique, you guys. So I'm going to be using this, and I'm going to on here. So let's grab a piece as long as we need it. I'm going to bring this around. I'm going to pretend I'm going to make a bow. I just need to know how much I need, and then cut. So maybe about right there. So let me grab my scissors, clip that off. And then we're done with this roll. Let me get it out of the way before it rolls off, slides across the room, and I have ribbon everywhere, right? How many of you have done that before? All right, so I just use this as my measuring. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to color this ribbon. You can take this ribbon and color it any color you'd like. It's hard to see because I've got it on the white, but you'll see it as I start coloring, and you definitely need to have it on something. So you just bring your ribbon or your blend and just color that ribbon all along. Just keep moving it down the line and color that all of the ribbon. Now when it's going to dry just a little bit lighter than the color you are that it shows up wet, and it goes all the way through. so you don't have to turn it over. It just soaks all the way through. We can use our blends on many of our ribbons that we have in the catalog. All right, I'm going to come over here and just go this way to the end. There we go. All right, now I have just colored and made myself some Granny Apple Green ribbon. We don't have any Granny Apple Green ribbon in the catalog right now, any of the mini catalog or in the annual catalog. So there is a tip on how to create your own color, the ribbon that you'd like. And it's starting to lighten up so that it matches all the Granny Apple Green coloring that's going on. All right, let's put our things together, and we're coming up to the fun tip. Now see how that soaks through your paper? That is using when you use the blends. And this piece is going to go onto the Calypso Coral. Beautiful fall colors. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to take this ribbon. It's completely dry. Because it's alcohol markers, you guys, it dries very fast. So it's awesome. I'm going to bring this around and tie it in a bow right over here. I'll be able to adjust it up or down where I want it and just after I've gotten it tied. All right, let's get this, pull this a little tighter with my bow. Come up around there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to be moving this. First of all, I can go ahead and get this trimmed up because I got quite a bit more than I needed, but I'd rather have more than not enough, right? There. Get those out of the way. And then we're going to put the card together, and I'm going to show you the last fun technique. I don't know if you've ever done this, but you got to try it if you haven't, okay? So remember to subscribe and hit the bell so the next time I upload a video, you will get the notification. All right, let's see here. Well, before I put this down, okay, let me grab my silicone mat. I've already got sticky on the back here, and I don't want it to stick to anything else of my paper. But what I need to do is I need to place these on here where I would like them to be. Let's see, this is going to need to come down some more. See, that's why I said we're going to be moving this how we need to here. Let's see. Should this one go here? You'll get it. You'll see what I'm doing here. I'm getting stuck. I should have waited. I wasn't thinking. Okay, this one goes up here, and then this is going to go right here, I think. Okay, so let's make sure these are where I want them to be, right? Okay. Is that what I want? I think so. All right, so I've got the ribbon where I want it. That's really the reason I had to do the placing. So I can move these off for a second, but I've got the ribbon down where I want it to be before I put it onto my card base. So I've got 1/4 inch all the way around. So let's just lay that down. There we go, just like that. All right, and I'm going to bring that like that. Now we're ready to put all of our pieces on here. And I'm going to actually, I think I'm going to make these flat. So, see how that soaks through? That's kind of a cool look. These are going to be just put on with our adhesive here. So this one is going to go right here. I think like that. And then this one's going to go here and here, kind of like that. All right. And that's going to go about right here. And then this one I am going to pop up with dimensionals. So let's just grab a couple of those and put those on the back here. And kind of right there. Fabulous. All right, and the next thing I'm going to do is add our 20 to 22 in color square gems. And I am going to use the Bumblebee I think that's the color I want to use here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to use. So our Take Your Pick tool, which is my favorite tool in the catalog, this has some sticky on this end. So I am going to grab one of the large gems here, and this one I'm going to put right, let's see, I'm going to put it right up there. Then I'm going to take a couple of the small ones, and I'm going to put one here, and one, let's see, keep it in the diamond shape, and we'll go right there. Okay, there, we've got that little bit of touch of the bumblebee in there, but we're not done. The funnest, coolest technique is next. But this is a technique that you have to have patience for, just for a little bit until it dries. But what is a candy apple without that shiny coating that you see on there? Well, we have some glue. It's our fine tip glue pen, and it certainly is fine tip. So this screws off, and as I take this off, you can see there is this little pin that is right here, goes down in this hole, and that just kind of keeps the glue wet instead of drying up. All right, so I'm going to bring this up closer here, and what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to take this and I'm going to start squeezing this out. Hopefully I should have tried it beforehand. Okay, it's not coming out, and so that I just haven't used it in a while. So I'm going to take my scrap to try to get it started, get this clump out of here, because that's what's happening, is there's a clump in here that's not allowing it to come out. Okay. There we go. So now it's coming out pretty good. But basically, I'm going to just take this fine tip glue, and I'm going to squeeze this out all over my red here. It should come out easier than this, and there we go. It's okay. I'd rather have it coming out little bits instead of a big drip, because you don't want that big old drip happening. But what I'm doing is getting this, I'm trying to see, I'm going to be filling this whole apple in with this glue. And it's just not coming out for me. You know, I love making videos, and I am just not the kind of person that sits and does, what do I want to say? There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to squirt a bunch of this out right now. There we go. And then I'm going to move it around. That's what I wanted. See how it's there? So I'm just going to move this around because I want this to cover all of my red, to make this, when this dries, this is going to look like a bright, shiny candy apple. Just like that. Okay, let me bring it closer to my face so I can see what's going on here. There we go. All right. Okay. Can you see that? See how that's going to be shiny once that dries? And it's all smooth. Just check it to make sure everything is smooth to the edge. There we go. There is that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing up here on my frosting. Just make some fun look on my frosting. Bring that around. There, it's coming out nicely now. I just had kind of some glops in there that needed to get out. Oh, this is so fun. Okay, there we go. All right. So I don't know if you can see, it's on my, you can't get the shine happening on, anyway, there you go, see, it's on my frosting too. But that is what you do at the very last thing. You want to do that as your last thing because you want it to dry. But look at that card, it is so cool. Look at, and that's just, you're going to let that sit and dry for a little bit, but that's the last thing you want to do. All right, what did you think about that one? I think that is a really neat technique. And this is one way to use the tasty treats. Oh, I forgot to stamp on the inside the happy birthday, which I'll have to wait till this dries now, but I'm going to stamp this on the inside because a tasty treat for someone sweet, and then on the inside, happy birthday. But that is how you can use some of your different products to create a really cool looking technique. I'm going to bring this up here closer, and when I put this lid back on, what I do is I put my finger on this little piece right here, and then I lay down my the glue and make sure that this little pin piece goes in that hole, and then slide it in. Maybe. Come on. There we go. Anyway, it pushes down in there, and it's not pushing down in for me. Boy, I'm having all kinds of trouble in this video. But again, this is real life. This is what happens. But yep, it just slides down in there, and I'm not getting it. I must have another clog. Remember, I had the trouble at the beginning. Okay, well, that is it for our video. The fun stuff that happens, right? It's real life, guys. I do real life. This is what happens when you stamp and things happen. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you again for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and click the bell so that you get a notice every upload. I'll be having Christmas videos coming after the 12 weeks of fall. And make sure to go to the Facebook page and join the group. You won't want to miss a lot of the great things we have there. Thank you for stopping by and sharing your time with me. And be a blessing to someone, okay? Bye-bye.